Let's just say it up front. Some women keep you around not because they want you, but because they don't want to lose the option. Harsh? Maybe. True? Absolutely. You're texting her regularly. She flirts back just enough to keep you hoping. She says she's busy when you ask her out, but she never fully disappears. She's in and out, hot and cold, and you're stuck in the middle wondering what the hell is going on. Sound familiar? Here's what you need to know. If a woman really wants you, she makes it known. She shows up. She engages. She makes time. But if she's stringing you along, the signs are there. You're just not looking at them for what they are. Most men don't want to admit when they're being kept on the hook. Why? Because it messes with your ego. Because you want to believe she's just taking her time. But in reality, she might be keeping you as a backup plan, an attention fix, or even an emotional crutch. This video is about cutting through the noise. No sugarcoating, no pretending she's just confused. If you've ever felt like you were putting in all the effort while she's giving breadcrumbs, you need to stick around. We're breaking down the 5 major signs that a woman is stringing you along, plus 2 bonus realities most men ignore. You'll see the patterns, hear the red flags, and get clarity on whether you should step up or step out. Welcome to the channel. If you're here to grow as a man and stop wasting your time on women who don't value you, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. 1. She likes the attention, not you. Let's start with one of the most common and most overlooked signs a woman is stringing you along. She loves the attention, but she's not into you. Now here's the tricky part. She's not going to admit that. In fact, she might act flirty. She might text you with, "Hey stranger," or send laughing emojis at everything you say. She'll keep you engaged just enough so you don't walk away, but not enough to actually move things forward. Here's how it usually plays out. You message her and she replies. Eventually, you compliment her and she says, "Oh, thanks," with a heart emoji. You suggest meeting up and she says, "I'd love to, just been so busy lately." But does she ever actually make time? Nope. You'll notice she often pops up when she's bored. Maybe on a Sunday night, or after a breakup, or when her main guy isn't acting right. Suddenly she wants to chat, ask how you are, or remind you how sweet you are. And just like that, you're back in her emotional inbox, but not her real life. It's not that she hates you. It's not even that she's trying to be cruel. But she enjoys what you give her. The validation, the compliments, the attention. You make her feel wanted. And as long as you keep doing that without asking for more, she'll keep you around. But here's the hard truth. If a woman values your attention more than your presence, you're not a priority, you're a pastime. A woman who's genuinely interested wants to see you. She won't risk losing you by being vague or flaky. She'll show effort. But the woman who's stringing you along, she'll do just enough to keep the faucet dripping, but never enough to fill the cup. So how do you know where you stand? If she only reaches out when she needs a boost, but goes quiet when you want something real, pay attention. If your conversations never go deeper than surface level and always end in talk soon, that's not interest, that's maintenance. Stop mistaking attention for affection. Stop thinking that because she talks to you, she wants something more. You're either moving forward or you're standing still while she soaks up the free energy. 2. You're always almost making plans. This one's frustrating, and you've probably experienced it. She keeps almost making plans with you, but it never actually happens. You text her, she responds. You suggest grabbing a drink or meeting up, and she says something like, "That sounds fun. I'll let you know when I'm free." This week's crazy, but maybe next weekend? OMG, yes, I've just been so slammed. Sounds polite, right? Sounds promising? But here's the thing. It just keeps happening, again and again, and nothing ever gets scheduled. You're stuck in this loop where she agrees in theory, but never in action. Let's break this down. When a woman wants to see you, she makes it happen. If she's truly interested, she won't let the opportunity slide more than once. But when she's stringing you along, she always finds a way to keep things vague. Why? Because saying yes keeps you engaged, but actually meeting up would mean making a real choice. And she doesn't want to do that. She wants to keep you around just in case. She wants to keep the door slightly open, but not actually let you in. So how do you know when she's doing this? Watch her consistency. If she never initiates plans, only reacts when you bring it up, and even then, the answer is always not right now. You're not dealing with bad timing. You're dealing with avoidance. Women who are interested don't dodge opportunities to connect. They'll say things like, "I'm busy this week, but how about Saturday? Can we do coffee Wednesday instead? I'm tied up tonight, but I'd really like to see you. Let's figure it out." See the difference? There's clarity, direction, effort. Now, when a woman strings you along, she relies on vagueness. She'll say she wants to, but never lock anything in. And you end up constantly wondering if you're being too pushy or if you should give her time. Let's be honest. If you have to chase a woman into setting a plan, she's not that into it. You don't need to be some perfect guy to get her time. You just need to be a guy she's actually interested in seeing. And if she's interested, she'll make it work. Stop holding on to the idea of potential. Start noticing the pattern of avoidance. If you're always almost hanging out but never actually do, you're not moving forward. You're just being strung along. 3. She talks big, but acts small. This one trips up a lot of guys because it sounds so promising in the beginning. She says all the right things. She compliments you. She tells you how different you are. She talks about how great it would be to go on a trip together, or how she wants something real. You start thinking, okay, she's serious. But here's where you've got to pay attention. Her words don't match her actions. She says she misses you, but doesn't reach out. She says she wants to hang, but never follows up. She says she likes you, but still acts like she's single and unbothered. That's a major red flag, and it's one of the clearest signs you're being strung along. Here's the problem. Most guys hear what they want to hear. They focus on the sweet talk, the compliments, the future plans that sound good. And because she says those things with a smile or a flirtatious tone, it feels like she means them. But attraction isn't about how a woman talks, it's about what she does. If her actions don't match her words don't mean anything. When a woman is genuinely interested, you'll feel alignment. Her words and her behavior work together. She texts when she says she will. She follows up. She shows up. When she's stringing you along, it's the opposite. You're constantly holding on to promises that never become reality. You're waiting for plans that never happen. You're replaying what she said last week while she's already out with someone else this weekend. She's not committing, she's performing. And you're caught up in the potential of what she said instead of seeing the reality of what she's doing. Let's keep it real. A woman who talks about the future but won't even commit to a weekend plan isn't serious about you. She's giving you emotional fast food, quick words that make you feel good, but leave you hungry again 30 minutes later. So ask yourself this: is she actually investing in you or just entertaining you? Are her words backed by behavior, or do they fall flat after the conversation ends? Because a woman who means it will make it real. A woman who's stringing you along will say whatever it takes to keep you just hopeful enough not to walk away. 4. You're her emotional crutch. Here's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes you're not the guy she wants. You're just the guy who listens when no one else does. You're the nice guy she leans on when she's feeling down. The guy she calls when she's stressed, bored, lonely, or in between other men. She vents to you. She tells you about her drama. You're the shoulder, the safe space, the support system. And maybe that feels like a good thing. Maybe you think it's building a deeper connection. But ask yourself this: does she ever give you the same energy back? Is she there for you the way you're there for her? Does she show interest in your life, your problems, your day? Or is it always about her? And when her mood shifts, she disappears? This is what being an emotional crutch looks like. You're not in a romantic relationship. You're not building anything real. You're just filling an emotional gap. For her, not for both of you. And here's the worst part. She knows you want more. She can feel it. She sees the way you respond. But as long as you don't draw a line, she's going to keep using you for comfort without giving you commitment. A woman who truly wants you won't treat you like her therapist. She won't keep unloading her personal mess onto you without any intention of moving the relationship forward. But when she's stringing you along, she'll keep you close enough to feel useful, but never close enough to feel chosen. You'll hear things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you. You're one of the few people who really gets me. I wish I could find a guy like you." Spoiler alert, you are that guy. She just doesn't want you. She wants your support without the relationship that comes with it. It's emotional friend zoning. You're good enough to confide in, but not good enough to commit to. So if you're constantly helping her through breakups, bad moods, and guy problems, but she's not making any real moves toward building something with you, take a step back. Reclaim your energy. You're not her savior, and you're not her stand-in boyfriend. If she's not ready to match your effort, don't settle for being her backup therapist. She doesn't need help. She needs to make a decision. And so do you. 5. She's hot and cold. On purpose. One day she's all about you, responds fast, laughs at your jokes, talks about how much she enjoys chatting with you. Then suddenly, silence. Cold responses, delayed replies, maybe even disappears for days. And just when you start to lose interest or pull back, boom, she's back again, acting sweet, saying she missed talking to you. Sound familiar? This pattern isn't random. It's intentional, whether she admits it or not. It's called push-pull, and women who string men along use it to stay in control. Let's break it down with a situation. You're texting this girl. For 3 days straight, it feels great. The vibe is there. She's laughing at your messages, sending voice notes, maybe even dropping hints about seeing each other. You start thinking this could go somewhere. Then out of nowhere, radio silence, no explanation, no warning. You wait, you check your messages, nothing. You send something casual, no reply. Now your brain starts doing flips. Did I say something wrong? Is she mad? Is she seeing someone else? You start investing more just to get that response again. And when she finally replies, even if it's dry or half-hearted, you feel relief. You're just happy she didn't vanish for good. That's the trap. She's controlling your attention with inconsistency. It creates anxiety, makes you chase harder, and keeps you hooked, while she puts in minimal effort. She doesn't need to give more, because the moment you think she's slipping away, you compensate by trying harder. This kind of hot and cold behavior isn't confusion. It's a strategy. She gets the ego boost, the validation, and the emotional control, all without giving anything serious in return. Here's what's real. Consistency is the bare minimum in adult connection. If she's genuinely into you, she won't disappear. She won't go cold for days and pop back in like nothing happened. A woman who respects you won't play games with your time and energy. But a woman who's stringing you along, she knows exactly how to give you just enough to keep you hoping, and just little enough to avoid any real commitment. So when you see this pattern, don't make excuses. Don't chase harder. Recognize it for what it is. Emotional manipulation dressed up as mixed signals. You're not crazy. You're not reading it wrong. You're just dealing with someone who knows how to keep you in limbo because she benefits from it. And the only way out? Stop playing along. 6. She keeps you around, but you're not moving forward. Here's something a lot of guys overlook because it doesn't feel like rejection. She keeps you in her life, but nothing is actually progressing. No clarity, no commitment, no momentum. You're not her boyfriend. You're not her hookup. You're not even really her friend. You're just there. And you keep telling yourself, well, at least she hasn't cut me off. Like that's a good thing. But let's be honest, staying in her orbit doesn't mean she's into you. It just means she hasn't decided to let you go completely. There's a big difference between being chosen and being tolerated. A woman who's stringing you along will never make it obvious that she's not into you because once you know that, you'll walk away. And she doesn't want that. She wants your presence, your attention, your effort, but without the pressure of having to choose you. So what does this look like? You're constantly texting, but never having real conversations. You're flirting, but nothing ever turns physical or emotional. You're sort of talking, kind of close, maybe a thing. But it's been weeks or even months, and nothing has changed. If you bring it up, she'll dodge it. She might say, "I'm just not ready for something serious. Let's just see where it goes. I really like you, but I'm figuring myself out." Sounds reasonable, right? But if she's been figuring herself out for months while still accepting your time and attention, you're not in a relationship. You're on standby. This kind of behavior keeps you stuck. It plays with your hope. It makes you feel like maybe you're just one conversation, one good date, one lucky moment away from finally making it official. But here's the truth. If you were what she really wanted, you wouldn't be waiting. You'd already know. Real interest doesn't hesitate. It shows up. It commits. It builds momentum. So if you're stuck in a situation where nothing's moving forward, don't confuse her access to you with progress towards something real. She can text you daily and still not want you. She can flirt with you and still have no plans for a future. She can keep you around because you're convenient, not because she sees you as a serious option. Don't let a woman string you along just because you're afraid to walk away from what might happen. If nothing has moved forward in weeks or months, then this is it. What you're experiencing right now is the relationship. Ask yourself, are you okay with that? If not, it's time to stop waiting and start deciding for yourself what you actually want. 7. You're ignoring the signs, and she knows it. Let's be real. By the time a woman is stringing you along, the signs aren't hidden. They're not subtle. They're right in front of you. And chances are, you've already noticed them. But you ignore them. You explain them away. You justify her behavior. You hope that maybe this time is different. And here's the part most guys don't want to hear. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows you're into her. She knows you're hanging on. And she knows you're willing to wait, hoping she'll finally come around. The more you tolerate, the more power she feels. Now, this isn't about demonizing women. This is about waking you up to the role you're playing in this. Because a woman can't keep stringing you along unless you let her. You're allowing her to breadcrumb you. You're making excuses for her inconsistencies. You're staying available even when she treats you like an option. That's on you. And I get it. Maybe you really like her. Maybe you've invested time, feelings, maybe even money. You don't want to walk away when you've already given so much. But here's the truth. You're not getting any of it back. And the more time you give her while she gives you nothing in return, the deeper the hole you're digging for yourself. The longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave. And the more power she has to keep doing the bare minimum, because you've already shown you'll accept it. So what's the solution? Draw a line. Tell the truth, to yourself and to her. If you're into her, be clear. Ask what she really wants, not what she says to keep things vague, but what she actually plans to do with this connection. If she dances around it, backs off, or gives you another non-answer, then you have your answer. She's not serious, and that's when you have to be man enough to walk away. Not out of anger, not to manipulate her, but to protect your time, your energy, and your self-respect. Here's the wake-up call. The longer you stay in a maybe, the more you delay your yes. There are women out there who will choose you clearly, show up consistently, and give what you give. But you'll never meet them if you're stuck chasing someone who doesn't want to be caught. So stop ignoring the signs. She knows you see them, and she's watching to see whether you'll finally act on them. This is your chance to step up. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A woman stringing you along is not confused. She's just not choosing you. And the longer you stay in that limbo, the more you disrespect yourself. This isn't about blaming her for being unclear. It's about holding yourself accountable for ignoring the signs. Because deep down, you probably knew what was going on. You felt it. You sensed the imbalance. You knew she was taking more than she was giving. But part of you kept hoping that maybe, just maybe, it would all turn around. It won't. You don't win a woman's heart by waiting around like a backup plan. You earn it by having the self-respect to walk when your value isn't being recognized. And that's the kind of energy that actually attracts the right woman. So take a step back and ask yourself, am I being chosen or am I just available? If you're tired of mixed signals, emotional games, and being left in the dark, it's time to stop hoping and start leading. Don't chase what's uncertain. Don't invest in what's inconsistent. A woman who wants you will make it clear. A woman who doesn't will keep you guessing. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt strung along? What were the signs and how did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments. Let's talk about it. You're not alone and you're not powerless. You just have to stop waiting for her to choose you and start choosing yourself.